Welcome to my live stream today. What I want to share with you is 5 indicators that I am seeing out there that are indicating that San Diego real estate market is ready to freaking explode. I know if you watch the news at all, if you cruise through social media, if you watch some of these crazy movies like Pandemic and Outbreak, you are probably having a mindset that might not be the most positive mindset out there. And I'm hoping that by the time you're done watching this, that I can shift your mindset based on pure data. If we've never met before, my name is Kyle Whistle, run a real estate company here in San Diego. I have a degree in economics, so I love to look at charts. I know that makes me weird, but that also makes me dig for information and look for data. And the business that we run is a data-driven business. Every decision that we make is all based on data that's out there. And so what I want to do today is just dive into 5 specific things that I've been keeping an eye on, 5 specific things that I'm very, very optimistic about, and I believe are going to lead to a phenomenal real estate market here in the summer of 2020. First and foremost, with what we're going through, this is unprecedented. This is crazy. This is terrible. There are a lot of people that are losing their lives, and it absolutely sucks. And I feel for them. And for those that are battling it or that have lost a loved one, you and your family are in my prayers. And I really hope that you get the best outcome possible from that. But I want to give you some optimism. And that optimism, I'm just going to dive in here and do a little screen share with you. So everything that I'm going to share with you today, again, this is all straight data. Everything I'm giving you, nothing is opinion. Everything is pure data. And so I'm excited to share all of this stuff with you. Let me switch my screens around here, and let me start with the first data point that I want to focus on today. And this data point is coming to us from our friends over at Google. Pretty reliable, right? What I want to start with is the beginning of the real estate sales cycle, and then work our way through the rest of the sales cycle, because there's certain things that have to happen first, right? Somebody can't just buy a home. They've got to search for a home first. Well, when somebody searches for a home, where are they searching? Typically, that search starts on Google. So this is a product called Zillow Trends. And what they do is they look at phrases that are being searched for on their website. And what I pulled up here, this is a 5-year chart for 2 specific phrases: buy home and buy house. The 2 most common phrases that somebody Googles when they're starting out their home search process. And what you will see here is that over the last 5 years, we are currently sitting at the highest search volume we've seen in over 5 years for people looking to buy home or buy house, depending on the part of the country. Some people prefer the word house, some people prefer the word home. But we are trending to the highest level that we have seen in over 5 years of people looking for buy home and buy house. That is a fantastic indicator that there's a lot of interest from people that are interested in buying homes right now. So I love this data point. You have the URLs up there at the top if you ever want to check any trends like this out, whether it be for these specific searches or really anything. If you want to see what's happening with search activity. The other thing too, when we look at this chart, you'll see there's some peaks in here. Well, these peaks are always at the same time every year. It's over the holidays. We peak out in November, early December. There's actually a lot of people that are searching for homes. Traditionally, this number in March and April is actually on the lower side. So the fact that we're here March, April with the highest search volume in history is crazy. You might expect this in November when it's traditionally high, but to have it be this high in March and April, which is actually, just kind of a moderate search month, is a really, really good sign. So just in case that this data is not enough for you, want to pull up this chart from our friends over at Zillow. And this is a chart that's showing how many how many listings are being viewed on Zillow.com, number 1 real estate website in the world. So pretty good data source for us. We're always looking for good, qualified, credible data points. So this is the number of home searches or listings that are being viewed on Zillow.com. Now, this is the national chart. And what you'll see on here is we bottomed out in the latter third of March. But since then, we've actually surpassed this same time a year ago. So this is comparing 2020 to 2019. The number of home searches being done right now is higher right now in 2020 than it was in 2019. And this is the national chart, which it's at about 17%. San Diego specifically right now, we're looking at like 27%. So there's 27% more listings being viewed on Zillow today than there was this same day in 2019. So another good, what we would refer to in economics as leading indicator, right? Somebody has to search for a home before they go and buy a home. So the fact that there's more searches for the phrases buy home and buy house, basically than there has been in over 5 years on Google. And our listing views on Zillow is up nationwide 17%, 27% specifically here in San Diego. That's another really, really good indicator. There's a lot of people that are interested in buying homes right now. Next one. So after people search for homes, what happens next? They got to go look at the home, correct? So we're going to go to our friends from ShowingTime. So ShowingTime is the number one service used by agents across the country for scheduling showings or viewings on homes for sale. And we'll look on here and we'll see that we are down from last year, significantly down from last year. But we always look for the trends. What direction are we headed with things? And so on here, you'll see we bottomed out again the latter third of March, specifically March 28th is when we bottomed out. Now, a lot of that was that this is when all the shelter in place, stay at home orders, all of that stuff started hitting. Here specifically in California, real estate was initially deemed as non-essential. So naturally, the week that we were deemed non-essential, showing volume would drop. We were deemed essential right around that March 28th point. I don't remember the exact day. I know it was on a Saturday or Friday or Saturday. We were deemed essential. Once we were deemed essential, now naturally showing volume is going to pick back up. And it's picked up quite a bit. We were down roughly 70%. And now we're only down about 25%. So again, we're trending in the right direction. There's a lot more showings happening today than there was 1 month ago. And you'll see that it's not just trending up, it's trending sharply up. So you kind of have that, they call this like a flying W in economic terms, but we had the down, a little bit of up, a small dip back down, and now we're shooting back up again. And we expect this to continue to grow. So we've got that data point. So now somebody goes and they find a home. They go look at homes and they ultimately find a home that they're interested in. The next thing that they're going to do is they're going to put an offer in. And when they put an offer in, when that offer gets accepted, it goes pending. And so what I want to look at here, this is info directly from the San Diego MLS, which covers all of San Diego County. And what we see here is that there are 709 homes that went pending in the last 7 days. Now this, unfortunately, it's hard for me to display this one, but I went back and I pulled the prior 7 days. And what I found is that number from 7 days prior was just over 500 that had gone pending. So the week prior, you had a little over 500 go pending. The last 7 days, you've had over 700 go pending. What that equates to is a 31% increase in the number of homes that have gone pending. And again, pending is when a buyer writes an offer and a seller accepts that offer. That property goes pending or under contract or off market, whatever term it is that you prefer. So we've seen a 31% just in 1 week over the next, a 31% increase in the number of homes that have gone pending. And I've actually been looking at the data on our team specifically. Our team 3 weeks ago put 4 homes pending. We've put 14 homes pending in the last week. So we're seeing substantial increases right now in the number of homes that are going pending. And then for those that like to look at the overall trends, if we look here, there's 871 new homes put on the market for sale, 709 that went pending. So that leaves us with roughly 160 other homes that would still be left over. We had 218 expire or go off the market. So what this equates to, if we add the number of expired listings and the number of pending listings together, it's actually higher than the number of new listings. But what does that mean? That means that we're contracting our inventory right now, which our inventory is already at historically low levels. We're running at 1.5 months of inventory right now, which is crazy low. It's an extremely low number to be running at 1.5 months of inventory. And now you look over the last 7 days and that's contracting even more. Well, what happens when there's a shortage of inventory? And 1.5 months of inventory, to give perspective, is about 25% of what we would see in what we would deem to be a balanced market. So a balanced market, we're typically seeing 6 months of inventory. What that means is that if nothing else came for sale, based on trends today, we would run out of homes for sale in a month and a half. That's crazy. Normally it would take us 6 months. So there's already far more demand than there is supply. And now you pile all these trends on top of that, right? There's way more people searching for homes for sale. There's more properties going pending week over week. And based on this, the overall inventory is actually contracted in the last week, right? This is crazy. This is a shortage of supply leads to an increase in values. I'll give you one more data point because, again, everything I do in business is all data driven. I always make decisions based off data. We don't make decisions based off gut feelings. We make decisions based off data. This is from the Mortgage Bankers Association. And this is the number of mortgage applications they have seen, the increases from 1 week to the next. So if we look at the week that ended on 4/17, we saw a 2.9% increase in mortgage applications, which that's great. I mean, a 2.9% increase week over week, that's solid. We'll take that all day long. Annualized, that's an insane number, right? If we actually annualize that out. So a 3% or 2.9% increase week over week, that's great. But check out what happened the week following that. We saw just from 1 week to the next, you saw a 17.2% increase in the number of mortgage applications that were completed. Like that is a massive 1 week jump, 17%. So what that just further validates is that now you got way more homes that are going pending or into escrow. Now, once they're pending, now you need a mortgage. You got to apply for that. So we're starting to see that number jump. So when you put all of these together, right, our friends at Google and Zillow, they're letting us know there's way more searches happening, homes for sale. Our friends at Showing Time, they're letting us know that there's way more buyers that are getting out there and actually seeing homes in person. Although, teams all around the country, we're all adapting. Everybody's, changing their ways and being socially conscious. We're all wearing our PPEs, our masks, our gloves, our booties, all of that stuff. So everything is, changing, but there's still plenty of people that are going out showing. So what's funny here is, right, this showing number naturally is going to be a little lower given the conditions, but there's a lot more showings that are happening virtually. We're using 3D tours all the time. We're doing FaceTimes and Zooms and Hangouts and all kinds of stuff. So it's only natural this would be lower. But again, it's trending upward sharply. And then our friends on the MLS, they're letting us know 31% increase in the number of homes that have gone pending week over week and a 17% increase in the number of mortgage applications. Now, based on the number of homes that went pending, I bet you this number is going to be even higher next week. So when you put all of this together, it's pretty clear that despite the FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, despite all the FUD that's out there right now, all the indicators are that we're in store for an explosion here in San Diego. We came into the COVID crisis here with a shortage of inventory. And now the further we get into this, we're actually seeing a contraction of inventory even further. And you're seeing more and more buyers. There's more buyers searching today than there was a year ago when we already had a shortage of inventory. So shortage of inventory, that's going to lead to one thing. Inventory doesn't go down and prices go down. When inventory goes down, prices go up. That's what happens in the market. So if you're watching this video, let's start with those of you that are thinking of buying a home. Is now a good time to buy a home? Heck yes, it is, right? I just gave you all the indicators of the direction the market's headed, and the market is headed up. So if you're thinking about buying, the other thing that I didn't point to on here is mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are at or near the lowest levels they've been in history. I've seen people getting loans in the low threes, sometimes even the high twos right now, which is unheard of. I started buying property over 15 years ago, and I had interest rates like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11%. So to see rates in the low threes, high twos right now, especially for like our VA, our military veterans and active duty, like that's crazy. So when you put all that together, if you're thinking about buying, the market's heading in an upward direction. You're getting the lowest rates that we've ever seen. Heck yes, it's a good time to buy. Then the other question is, well, is it a good time to sell? Now, it depends. It depends where you're going to go. Why do you need to sell? The person that I think it's great for right now is if you're watching this and you own a home, maybe you bought that, condo for, maybe it was just you, maybe it was you and your spouse, and now you've got some kids, you've outgrown the space and you need a little bit more space. Great for you. Or maybe your family started out as 2 or 3 of you and now there's 4 or 5 of you and you need a little bit more space. Those of you that own a home right now that you've outgrown, you need something bigger. It's also fantastic for you, because what we're seeing when it comes to this inventory shortage is the shortage of inventory is much shorter on the lower price points. And then there's a little bit less of a shortage on the higher price points. So the majority of the time when you're moving up, you're selling at a lower price point, moving to a higher price point. And so the beauty is you're selling over here where there's very low supply, which it's great to be a seller. But as you move up to the higher end markets, there's a little bit more supply. So you get to sell and have people fight over your home here. And then you get to buy over here where you have a few more options. You're not having to fight with people like they're fighting for your home over here. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about moving up to that bigger house, more room for you, for your family, your dream house, your beach house, whatever the case may be, there's a lot of opportunities because we are seeing inventory a little bit higher on the higher end stuff. So I hope that all of this data is helpful for you. If there's any other questions, anything that I can do to help you, I want to be that resource for you. Feel free to post in the comments here, shoot me a direct message. If you want to reach me personally, I'll give you my personal cell phone. I don't normally do that. I've been trying to hide that, but these are some crazy times and I want to be here and be a resource for you. So you can call or text me. My personal cell phone is 858-699-3895. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you got some value out of it today.